My name is Antons Antonovs, student number A002666375, and today I'm going to talk about my Arduino sketch. This is the second part of video. There will be third video where I will talk about processing code. Okay, let's start. First of all, here is the libraries that I include or import to the sketch for keypad, password, and LCD displays. These libraries contain methods and code, and they're important for functionality of liquid display and other things. Then I initialize and declare the variables. I won't talk about each line because there is kind of 350 lines of code, but I will explain some of it. So we have password length 6. We have pins for liquid display, for LCD display. Then we set password to 1, 2, 3, 4. Max length of password is 6. Current length is 0. Then in the functions below it will change. 4 rows, 4 columns. It's for the keypad. Here is numbers, letters. I have functionality for this letter. You will see it below later. Then we assign previous millis to 0. It's for count 1 second. Interval 1000. We set timer to 7, so each time you arm the alarm, the code below will know that timer starts at 7. We set the LED to low, so when you start the program all of these are off. Then just declare some variables, push button, set alarm state to 0, so alarm is disarm at the beginning, just pin 13 for push button, LED pins, buzzer analog pin. Use analog pin because just to simplify the circuit, to make it easier to follow. Motion sensor pin. State of motion sensor is 0 as well in global scope, so it won't trigger below. Thermistor analog must be analog, I will say. This block of code, it's variables for thermistor maths logic. There will be calculations below where these variables will be in use. So the alarm system method, checking if alarm state is 0, it will call the countdown function. Here is the countdown function. Countdown function will check the timer. If timer is greater than 0, in our case timer is 7, we declare it above, it will call my key function so we can type in the keypad, and it will count this basically 1 second, and it will decrease timer by 1 each second. So timer minus mean timer equals timer minus 1, and print of course the timer at the LCD display each second. So let's come back. Then it will set alarm state to 1, so alarm is armed. Clear the display. I decide to use this way to clear the display. I think it's simpler when you it's just more clear, more smooth. Then set LED pin to high, so set green LED to high. Else, if alarm is disarmed, it will clear display, print message, and set both LEDs to low, and turn off the buzzer as well, of course. I mean, the siren is off, if alarm is disarmed. Then the flash function, it's basically when alarm is triggered, it will activate the buzzer at 10 kHz sound signal. Here we go. It will count 1 second. It will print that sensor is triggered. No buzzer here, it's mean there will be sound after 1 second, there's no sound again, it's just repeatedly. Same for LEDs, for LED state as well. Then else it will, if it's disarmed, it will turn off the buzzer, clear this display. Here it's the calculation for thermistor, as I previously said. This is the Celsius variable temperature and Fahrenheit. So reference will be in my report about more details about it, but basically it's compare resistance and calculate it. When there's more temperature, resistor I think go high and opposite. So then clear display, print messages. I already explained count function. The setup function, it's like starting point of the program. Serial begins, so start port communication at 9600 speed. I think I can increase it, but there is really no need because we're just sending small information. Then prints. This block is basically assign inputs and outputs variables like entry exit switch, it's push button, it will read this state, motion sensor as an input, 2 LEDs as outputs and buzzer as output for siren. Void loop is the function that's looping all the time, so it will check if timer equals 0. It will set timer to 7. So when we call, when we're trying to arm alarm again, it will count from 7 to 0. Here it will know that timer is 7. This is the important line. My key function basically to take the input in the keypad, read the motion sensor. It's always reading it because it's in void loop, so it's always reading the motion sensor. If it will detect something, it must be below here. If motion sensor is high and alarm is armed, it will trigger the alarm. Here, this block is very important as well. It's reading data from processing. So if serial communication is available, it will assign a variable val to read to data that's sent. So if this data is char A, it will set the state of alarm to 0 and call the alarm function. So it will arm the alarm, and opposite, if the Arduino will receive this char, it will disarm the alarm. I will show you shortly here in the processing. Here, this function to arm the alarm, port write that char A. So it's writing or sending A to Arduino. Here Arduino check if it's A, do this, if it's D, do this. Pretty simple. If it's K, it will call kitchen zone. Kitchen zone, this block here, check. It will work only if alarm is disarmed, if alarm state equals 0. And I put it to for loop, so it will do it, all this code, only for 8 seconds. Thermistor readings, it's basically the kitchen zone with thermistor sensor. it displays on the LCD display the temperature Fahrenheit and Celsius. Then I have 1 second delay and I clear the display. So I have this delay to make it more smooth, the kind of refresh rate. And this block is very important if alarms system is not armed. It will return setup. So basically this line will jump right here to the starting point. So it will start all over again. I think it's pretty cool. Then it's checking the entry-exit button. So if it's high or low. If it's low, it will call countdown. Then if timer is 0, if countdown is finished and button is still pressed, it will trigger the alarm. Something like this. Similar with motion sensor, I already explained it before. This line is important as well. So it's read the thermistor readings. I have it nearly everywhere because I want to read it all the time. I will show you why. If I run my processing code, so if you go to interface program, here on the right hand side you can see it's always displays the temperature and change in temperature. That's why I'm reading it all the time. It doesn't matter alarms armed or disarmed. I will talk about this interface in the third video. Okay, now so this is important. It's check if Celsius temperature is greater or equals to 25, it will trigger the alarm, else it won't. Then the key function, basically to take the input from the keypad. If key is pressed, it will tone the buzzer at 1.5 kHz with small delay, then no sound. So basically these three lines mean when we click the key, there will be some sound. We assign, if key is 1, show it on row 1, column 10, and print it as star, so I hide the password. Same for other 3 numbers. And then if key is pressed, there is small delay, and then if key is A, it will call kitchen zone function. I already showed it before, and it will break the switch statement. There is no functionality for these three, and these two will call the check password and reset password function and break the loop as well. And as default, it's taking the input. So here, when we kind of enter the password, it will increase this variable length by 1, current password length, and it will check if the current password length is equals to max length. Max length is 6, so if they equals, it will check it. So basically, it's the maximum. It could be 6. Check password function will check the password, clear display. If it's correct, it will call the alarm system function. For reset password function, we'll reset the password and set the current password length to 0. That's it about the Arduino sketch. In the next video, I will talk about processing. Thank you for your time.